Hey guys, I just wanted to let you all know that there is a charity stream this Friday, May 31st, starting at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The goal is to raise at least $5,000 for St. Jude. I would have liked to, as much as if we can raise 10, 15, awesome. But I know a lot of you guys have been contributing to other people's charity streams throughout the month. I would have liked to have done a stream earlier in the month, maybe one in the middle, one at the end, but this month has been absolutely crazy. So as of right now, we're hoping to raise $5,000 Friday, May 31st, starting at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will have a schedule, and I will have some challenges and pain and suffering and that kind of thing coming your way. I don't have all that stuff in front of me or written out completely yet, but I will get it done. A couple other things I want to address in this video, though. So most importantly, though, St. Jude charity stream Friday, May 31st. That's tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I hope to see you there. If you guys care about the rest of what I have to say, then stick around. If you don't, then peace out. See you Friday. Peace out. Is this 1960? Anyway, a couple other things that have been going on. So Wade, why is your charity stream so late? Well, it was going to be this past Saturday, but then Sean tweeted out that he was doing a big charity stream that day, and I just don't like interfering with other people's stuff. I know it's literally impossible not to interfere with other people's charity streams because there's hundreds and thousands of streamers and only 31 days in the month of May to do St. Jude stuff for the Play Live event. That being said, you can donate to St. Jude all year long, but for the Play Live event specifically, I think it runs May 1st to May 31st. Might be a couple days before, a couple days after, what have you. And the reason that didn't happen again with Sean, Jacksepticeye, had one going on this past Saturday. Gar did his Friday. I think Pat did one, Sunday and yesterday, or someone did Sunday. I can't keep track. The early part of the month, I was gone in LA doing a preview of it for Borderlands 3. After that, I was down in Jacksonville doing a charity D&D tournament, raising money to fight diabetes, specifically juvenile diabetes. Then we had a whole bunch of friends coming into town. I actually canceled another trip I was supposed to be going to just because it was too much. Then we got the house ready, had a whole bunch of friends. We had like 11 people staying in our house, including Molly and I. But you guys will see the soda challenge we just posted recently. I've got another soda challenge and another video that, actually, hold on, hold that thought. I'll give you guys a little teaser as to what that other thing might be. All right. I was wearing headphones before. I'm not putting them back on right now. So, here's your first clue. Your first clue. Wait, that looks like a white glove. Some of you already know this because people spoiled it, but like, whatever. I'm gonna have fun with it anyway. Clue number 2. Clue number 2. All right, nice pair of goggles there. And clue number 3, if this doesn't give away, I don't know what will. Again, most of you already know this, but there you go. What could those be? Now, if you already know and you're going to spoil it in the comments, then poo on you. If you're having fun playing the game, then I'm sure this part right here gave it away. So there's that. You have that to look forward to from everybody being in town. Then we went to Pivip, and here's where I want to spend a little bit more time. So Pivip went really well compared to what our expectations for Pivip were as far as people showing up, everything running pretty smoothly, Kings Island being happy with the turnout and how things ran and us not getting in their way and causing them any issues and bringing people to the park, etc. So if you came to Pivip, I hope you guys had a good time. You enjoyed the park. You enjoyed all the other things that were going on. There were more things than just Mark and Bob and I. However, that being said, a lot of people came to Pivip just for Mark, Bob, and I. And first of all, I want to apologize if you didn't get to see us or didn't get to go to the panel, didn't get into the meet and greet line. But there's a lot of misconception going around that I want to clear up. First of all, there was no initial plan to force people to have to like get a band to meet us or something. That was not originally like something that at least that I knew of, that was supposed to happen. So the reason some of you came to Pivip and didn't get to meet us was we were given a 30 to 45 minute block for the panel, and there's only 2 theaters at Kings Island that we were looking at hosting it. The one that we ended up doing was indoor because we didn't know how weather was going to be, and it did end up raining a little bit after when we were doing the signing. So we took, I believe it's the largest indoor theater they have, which is not huge because they don't typically put on a lot of productions like this, but it can only seat so many people. So the panel, people started lining up. The panel was at 4:15 in the afternoon. I was told people were lining up as early as 10:30 in the morning. We did not know people would line up that early. I know people come to Mark panels pretty early, like at PAX conventions and stuff, but then again, I had no idea what the turnout for this would be. Mark tweeted out like the day before that he was going to be here. I'd tried to promote it during the 3 Peens. I made a video about it. I've done promotions for it. But I've also promoted stuff in the past that people haven't come out to in giant flocks. I don't know if you guys came out mainly because Mark was going to be there. I don't know. But we had more people show up than we expected. People started lining up earlier than we expected. So they started giving out the bracelets so people would have to stand in line the whole day. From my understanding, I believe the bracelets were used for the panel. I could be wrong about that. I know they were used for the meet and greet. Anyway, panel, line filled up fast. People showed up throughout the day, tried to get in line. It was already booked up. There's nothing we can do about that. I know there's other issues and I'll get to those. For the meet and greet, some people went to the panel and thought that if you went to the panel, you could also go to the meet and greet, which is technically true. However, the reason people couldn't go to the meet and greet that went to the panel was because the people that couldn't go to the panel immediately got in line for the meet and greet, or they got in line for the meet and greet earlier in the day and got their bracelets or whatever have you. And the bracelets were used again because there were so many people trying to get in. And I don't think the Pivip people / Kings Island people, I don't know who was responsible for the bracelets because we've not had a post convention meeting yet. So I'm foggy on some of these details. But from my understanding, those were used so people didn't have to stand in line all day. It wasn't a thing where you were supposed to have one to get in line. It was just we had 2 hours for the meet and greet. And the way that a lot of conventions look at that, because we had some convention planners that had experience with PAX, experience with other conventions around the country, etc., helping us with Pivip, they give you an estimate. So in 2 hours time for the meet and greet, they tell you, okay, well, you're going to spend an average of 30 seconds per person, 15 seconds per, whatever, 40 seconds. They have a number that they assume that you're going to take per person to get through a line. And they use that to calculate how many people they're willing to let in line. So for 2 hours, let's say it was 200 people, give or take. I don't know the exact number. It was something like that. So people in the panel, people that couldn't get into the panel went to the meet and greet line. Those 200 spots were taken up. We were not trying to mislead anybody, but this was not a convention. This was a preview event. This is the 3rd or 4th preview event for Pivip we have had. It's the first one I've gotten Mark to come to, but Bob and I have gone to several. And in the ones that Bob and I have done in the past, we had like 15 or 20, 30, 50, 100 maybe. Let's say 100 people show up. We were not anticipating thousands for this one. This one was different because it was a theme park. I did a little bit more video promotion, and I mentioned it during the 3 Peens in a podcast stream. But as far as I'm aware, I don't know what kind of promotion Mark and Bob did. As far as I'm aware, Mark just tweeted out, like I said, the day before. I did not expect thousands of people to show up, but even if we had, we still only had a 2-hour window for a meet and greet, and we still only had so many seats for the panel. This is just the same way things work at PAX, where some conventions, they'll have you buy a bracelet in advance. So you go to a convention, you go to pre-order your badge, and it says, would you like to either buy a line ticket for Markiplier, or would you like to buy a random line ticket? It'll be a lottery, and you either win, or you lose, or you get so-and-so, whatever have you. I don't know how it all works. But we got more people than we anticipated, which is great for the convention standpoint, terrible for the people that came to meet us. I never want you guys to be disappointed. And I failed you in that regard, and I am sorry. I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm trying to explain to you what happened as it happened. Limited time stamp, too many people, couldn't get everybody in. The parts that I personally feel we really failed at were communication, preparedness, and updating you guys along the way, like live updates. So whenever we have our next meeting, I want to address a few things. Some of the most common complaints that I got whenever I tweeted that I thought Pivip was a successful day, then I got some of the negative feedback. I was told that some of the security was rude to people. And if it's Kings Island security, I don't know what I can do about that, but I will bring it up and I will see what we can do, and I can see what we can find out. Ultimately, the amount of complaints I got versus the amount of happy replies I got were a lot less. So it seems like most people had a good experience, but a few people complained that they were mistreated. I will look into that. I promise you I will look into that, and I will try to make sure that people are treated well the next time around. when we do the real big convention next year. People should never be mistreated. I hope you all didn't feel misled. If so, that is my fault as well. I wanted to meet every single person that came to Kings Island, but it just wasn't realistically possible. We went to Indie PopCon. Mark, Bob, Sean, and I went to Indie PopCon back in 2015, I think it was. And we had a similar experience, however less organized than we had at Pivip. Because again, we had so many more people show up than we anticipated. But for that one, we did a lot more promotion than we did for this event. And that one, they didn't limit the lines. We didn't know what to expect. And they had these VIP bracelets, from what I remember, that were supposed to get you into one line of your choosing to meet whoever you wanted to meet. And we had thousands of people show up to meet the four of us. Like I said, mainly, I mean, I'm not trying to brag. It's mainly Sean and Mark that bring in people. I'm a realist here. I understand who the superstars are and whatnot. They're my friends. I'm not envious of them, just the way things are. So thousands of people came to meet the four of us, whoever their main person was, so be it. And we didn't have a cap. So starting at 10 or 11 o'clock on Friday morning, we started doing a meet and greet. And the line just never got smaller. And we signed and we signed and we took pictures and we tried to meet everybody. We did not stop for meals. We kept going from like 10 or 11 a.m. till I think like 9 p.m. whenever they forced us out. And there were still hundreds or thousands of people, I don't even know the numbers, that did not get to meet us that had Friday badges. So what happened then was they were given a badge to meet us on Saturday. Saturday, we had even more people than Friday, didn't get through all the ones from Friday or the ones from Saturday. Then Sunday came along and we only got to do a signing for 2 hours that day. As you can expect, we didn't get through anybody. It's nearly impossible to ask people to, on a regular basis, sign things for 20 or 30 hours in a 3-day span. There's just other things that we have to do at a convention, and at Pivip specifically, getting away from the PopCon stuff, at Pivip specifically, I'm one of the 3 founders. I'm a lesser founder in the sense that they invited me to help them build this, and my part of helping build Pivip is to talk about the games, the tournaments, the people that we can possibly bring in. Like I tried to bring in Mark, I tried to bring in Bob, Pat, Gar, JP, Dan, D-Live, etc., etc., etc. I've tried to get them there. Unfortunately, Ethan couldn't make it. Brian and Morgan couldn't make it. There are people that I want to get there next year to make it a bigger, better event. But my part of Pivip is that. It's talking to my friends, looking at game companies, looking at media outlets that I've worked with in the past. And that was my responsibility, was trying to get that part of it together. I don't have much say so in the daily layout of things, what time this was happening, that was happening. That falls to other people's hands. And on top of that, the 3 of us that put this together, we're also leaning on other companies to help us set it up and run it and put it together. There's a lot of different moving pieces, and I've never built a convention before. I've only ever been one of the people that shows up to experience the convention / meet fans, do a panel, whatever. So this is my first experience doing this. And the Pivip preview event at Kings Island was, I don't know the percentage, but a lot bigger than the other preview events we've done. And I'm assuming that's because Mark was headlining it. But I hope, we do better next year. I hope security treats everybody well. I hope that you guys know if a line is filling up, there is a Pivip app, and I don't know if it was made clear that there was a Pivip app. I don't know when I found out about it. I don't know if I mentioned it in the other video. I might not have, because I might not have known about it at the time. But I need to get that communication clearer to you guys. And on top of that, I want the app to have an update as to if the line is full or if you can still get in. I want that stuff to be available. If possible, perhaps we can even have it to where whenever you book your ticket, you can, try to get in line for whatever this is or that is. I don't know if that one's possible or not. But again, I did fail you guys in several regards, and I apologize. And I hope to make it better. Again, this was a preview event. This was a test to see how running... The idea behind this event was to see how running a tournament at Kings Island would go. How dealing with being out in, the open air. Thankfully, we had good weather, but I don't know how it would have been if we didn't. We had very brief amount of rain. Might have gone well, might have gone poorly. I don't know. I like to think it would have gone well because a lot of our stuff was still contained indoors. The problem with indoors at a theme park is it's limited. So there are pros to it being at a theme park, namely, you're at a theme park. You know, if there's something you guys want to see, you can try to go see it. And if those things are full, the idea is, well, you can go ride a roller coaster, go to Planet Snoopy, go, you know, exploring a theme park. So there's still stuff to do outside of just the gaming convention. But it seems like most of you guys that came there, at least the ones that were upset or had something go horribly wrong, came there to meet us or to see the panel. I guess the other thing I will say, and this is going to sound shitty and I don't mean for it to, is that if you go to a PAX, if you go to an RTX, a Fandom Fest, a PopCon, a Pivip, what have you, it's a better bet to want to go to enjoy a convention and then hope to meet or see a panel with some of your favorite creators on it. Because again, our time slots are limited. This preview event was a one-day thing. I'm hoping next year we have a 2 or 3 day convention. I'm hoping we have a lot more creators there. I hope we can get Sean involved. I hope I can get some of the achievement hunters involved, Rooster Teeth, whoever. I hope to reach out to a whole bunch of people and get a whole bunch of people there that you guys would love to meet. That is my goal. I don't know if I can make it happen the first year or not. Some people might be interested, some people might be busy, some people might just not give a shit, some people might be done with conventions. I don't know. I gotta talk to them and see. But in the future, go to a convention because you're interested in the convention and then hope to meet us, because I don't want you guys being disappointed if it doesn't work out. And it's gotten to a point where Mark and Sean especially, you know, some of the other huge creators out there are so big and they're so internationally recognized that when they go to these conventions, it's just, they can't walk the floor normally without, you know, a crowd gathering or just swarming them. And when you go to a panel, people line up 5 or 6 hours early. When you set up a meet and greet that you can hopefully get a few hundred people in, those fill up very fast. And we want to meet as many of you as possible, but it's not realistic anymore to think that we can meet everyone at every convention. And we will do our best. I will do my best to make it better. If I can set up a multi-day signing where we do one signing this day, one signing that day, I will do it. But again, that involves a lot of moving pieces. In this particular case, again, we had a one-day event, and Mark is very busy working on a project right now that I don't think he's released details on, so I won't release any details on it. But he couldn't stay in town very long. He came into town late on Friday, and I believe he left really early on Sunday or late Saturday, so be it. And he just has a lot going on. So asking him to fly in after he's been working his tail off, do a panel, do a signing, and then possibly more was just too much. So we did what we could. Bob cast Fortnite from, I think, like 1 o'clock till 4 o'clock or so, somewhere in that range. And then he came on, did a panel. Then we went and did a 2-hour signing. And it's like, he had time to eat lunch maybe at like 11. And then by the time we were done with the signing, it's 7, 8 o'clock at night. And it's just, there's a whole lot of gap in there where he was also doing stuff. And we're people. We have to eat, piss, shit, etc. You know, we have to exist as people. And the theme park's only open so long. I think the park opened at 9:30 or 10 and was open till 9:30 or 10 at night. So we have a very limited space with which to do everything. So I would love all of you guys to come to Pivip next year. And those of you who had a great experience, I hope you have a great experience again. Those of you that didn't, I hope you have a better experience. I will talk to the other members, and I will see what I can do about making sure that security is treating people well, improving communication so that way you guys know if a line is full. If I can make that happen before you even, you know, come, I will. I don't know if I can make that happen or not. I do not know. Again, that part is out of my hands. All I can do is fight for it, and I will do my best. I will do my best to try to get some kind of live updating feed as far as, like I said, if lines are full, if they're filling up, etc. So that way you guys aren't disappointed, aren't scrapping to try to get somewhere. I do not want people fighting for a spot in line. I like to think that our communities are, you know, all friendly to one another, which is not also realistic or true, but we encourage you guys to, you know, be good to one another. We try to be good to you, even though, again, I failed you in this case. And we just want to do our best to make sure you are all happy. Our career started on the foundation of we want to make content to make people's days better. And for those of you that came to Pivip, some of you, your days were not made better, and it was my fault. And I'm sorry. And I will do better, and I will fight for you guys. I don't know what else I can do at this point. Those of you that paid admission to come to Pivip, that admission did not go to us. That is a flat out 100% truth. I don't know if part of it will next year or not. But this year, the fee to get in and the fee to park were all just to get into Kings Island itself, because the theme park was not going to make it free to get in, because those people that wanted to come to Kings Island and didn't give a shit about Pivip, yeah, you know, when people would show up to have a free day at a theme park that's normally like a $60 to whatever dollar daily entry ticket. I'm assuming that's what it is. I don't know. Between Disney and all the other parks I've been to, it's hard to remember the daily entry fees, but you guys can go to kingsisland.com and look. But yeah, if you were told you go to a theme park for free for a day, you're going to load up, especially on a weekend. This is a Saturday in the early spring, whenever it's first opening, everybody wants to go. It was a crazy crowded day. And on top of that, we were trying to host a convention there, so it was just going to be a madhouse. They had to charge their admission fee, so they did. That was not us, that was them. I cannot do anything about that. But next year, I assume we're still working with Kings Island. Again, we've not had a post meeting, but I assume everything went well. As far as, you know, all the upper heads were feeling about it. But I still want to make it better and as good as possible. So I will work on those things. If you guys have any other concerns outside of trying to make the app better, trying to make sure security is treating people well, and trying to make sure you guys know in advance what to expect and have hopefully some kind of way to check live updates on things. Those are the things that I feel like I can work on to make better, as well as try to bring in more creators, hopefully have a longer event with more panels, more meet and greets with different people. I cannot guarantee that if you come to Pivip next year, you are going to meet Markiplier or Jacksepticeye or me or whatever. I can't guarantee that there will be seats open in the panel for everybody. I can't guarantee that. And I want you all to know that I will do my best to make it as big as possible, but I can't make those guarantees or those promises. We want to meet all of you, we do. But it's just not possible in a 1 or 2 day span, even a 3 day span. It's not possible to meet everybody, as we found out 4 years ago. I don't know how many subscribers Mark and Sean had 4 years ago, but I imagine they're significantly larger now. And it's not possible despite our best efforts. So my goal is to bring in more people, so that way if you can't get into one panel to meet one person, hopefully there's somebody else there that you like and you want to meet and you can get into that one. Worst case scenario, maybe it's your third or fourth choice and you don't have to tell the person that, you know, you can just be happy to get to see them or get to experience them, hopefully. Nobody likes being told that. You know, obviously Mark's a bigger name than I am. I don't like being told that, oh wait, you're Markiplier's friend, can you sign this? My friend loves Markiplier and you know him. It's like, thanks, yeah, I just hold the jock strap. We don't like hearing that. It's just a fact. But if you guys need to, you know, get out your frustrations, take them out on me as far as Pivip goes, because that was my responsibility to do a better job and I failed. But as far as other creators and stuff go, you know, don't take that out on them. It was my failure and I will do better. And I hope to build a big fun convention for everybody in the future with my other members of the founding crew. I don't know what to call them. I have no idea. I just keep stuttering over that. But yeah, this was kind of a heavy, long-winded section, but I wanted to spend a lot of time letting you guys know how I failed and how I hope to make it better. We will anticipate a bigger crowd next year, assuming people want to come back, assuming we bring in more people that are willing to, you know, say that they're going and let their fan bases know. So that being said, you know, if Mark and Sean do decide to come next year, if Ethan decides to come next year, if I get other creators to come next year, which I'm not saying they are. Do not assume they are. I don't know. They've not committed. I don't know what their schedules are. They might have other life things come up. It is impossible to know right now. So please do not assume that we're going to have a huge cast next year. I will try my best, but wait until there's an official announcement before you take my word on that. I'm just letting you know what I'm going to try to do. The more people we have, the more fans know about it, the more people will show up. But that also still means that there's not a guaranteed chance of meeting them. And like, we will do our best, but I cannot guarantee anything. And I wish I was more clear about that. I wish that was known before a lot of you guys spent so much time and money. And some of you had your hopes crushed, and we want to build up our communities. We want you guys to be happy. We want to entertain you. We do not want to let you down, and I let you down. And I'll quit saying it now, but it just... I'm sorry. Okay, so next year, again, Pivip, we hope to make it bigger. I'll let you know the details when I know them. We will have a meeting. I will try to fix the things I said. Other than that, I plan on going to RTX this year. I do not know what that will look like. I've not been to RTX since I think also 2015. I don't think I have a panel or an official signing or anything, but if you guys see me around and about, please do come up and say hello. If there is an official signing, then I'll announce that when I know, but I don't think there will be. Don't come just to meet me, but if you are going to be there, then I hope I get to see you and meet you. I don't know about other conventions at this moment. I hope to get back on track with streaming soon. So a lot of you guys are wondering why there's been no 3P's in a podcast. Again, Mark's been filming a project that I can't talk about. Bob has been trying to move. I'm sure if you guys follow Bob and Mandy, you've been seeing all of their updates with their good and bad experiences trying to move across the country. And again, I had a bunch of stuff going on early in the month, and now that I'm free on Tuesdays, those two still aren't free on Tuesdays. So hopefully in the next week or two we can get back on track. And I don't know how long Mark's going to be filming, and I don't know how long it's going to take Bob and Mandy to get settled in. They might be now for all I know, but I know they weren't as of Monday this past week. So in any case, I will wrap this up. I'm sorry for talking your guys' ears off. This Friday, charity stream, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're raising money for St. Jude. None of the proceeds go to me. I will make a couple contributions myself. If you guys cheer bits, I will try to keep track of how much I'm giving in bits, and I'll try to make a donation to St. Jude based on that. But mainly it's easier if you guys donate directly to them through the... I'll have like a donation link. It's easier if you donate through the donation link, but if you can only do bits or whatever, like I said, I will try to make a contribution that way. If you've been giving money to people like Jack's charity stream, Pat's charity stream, Molly's charity stream, etc., 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 and you just don't have it anymore, don't worry about it. If we don't reach our goal, then, you know, it's not the end of the world. It's just what I would like to raise at least $5,000 for St. Jude. I think we raised close to 15 or 20 last year, and or the year before. So we might be able to do that again. I hope we do. But I like to do mine usually early, mid to the month. I don't think I've ever done one the last day. So I fully understand if you guys are tapped out and don't have it. But I still want to try to do my best to help. I want to do my best for you guys. I want to do my best for charities. I want to do my best for Molly and my puppies and Keeters. But sometimes our best isn't good enough. But I'll do my best for this, and I'll do my best for Pivip. So in any case, I'll wrap this up. I don't think there's any other big announcements right now, and if there are, I guess I'll make a follow-up video. So 2 p.m. Eastern, Friday, May 31st, twitch.tv/minion777. I'll put a link in the description. I'll try to remember to put the date and time in the description as well. And if there's anything else that I have missed about Pivip, about anything, and if you guys want to vent, if you guys want to share experiences, if you guys want to give me tips of what you think we could do better, I will read the comments. I read the comments on most of my videos, almost all my videos. At some point, may not be the day of. I don't respond all the time, but I do try to read them. This video, I will do my best to make sure I read as many comments as possible, especially the first 2 or 3 days it's up. That's when most people view this. And if there's anything you guys want to say, get off your chests, etc., please post it in the comments below. I'll respond, you know, if I feel it's necessary, but if nothing else, I will be making a checklist of things to bring up and things to try to improve. I may have thought of something before and not mentioned it here because my brain is whatever. But please let me know, because I want Pivip to be fun for creators. I want it to be fun for fans. I want it to be fun for the people competing in the tournaments. I want it to be fun for us. I want it to be fun for general people that are just walking around the theme park and everyone else. I want it to be a good experience for everybody, and I will fight as hard as I can to make that possible. So thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for whatever comes next. Until next time, see you guys.